It's another incredible, wild season
It's a
of
goodie, huh?
media. I mean, the final season, I think they just made everything 1,000 times incredible. And I'm curious, with you still losing time, is there going to be a resolution or maybe even a peace that he comes to with these missing parts of his life?
I think so. I think that's that is the dream in that regard, right? And the whole coming to terms with everything like that. I mean, as we see in the season, is that you don't really find peace, or you're not really coming to terms with anything until the very end. I think the whole of life is a constant state of processing grief, sadness, joy, and everything like that. And oftentimes, like, processing joy is the most difficult thing. So I feel like that's why it's been difficult for Bashir, because so many good things have happened. He doesn't know how to accept those in the face of all this guilt and all this turmoil that's happening. So the dream is that he feels some sort of comfort in dealing with the chaos, not an end to the chaos.
He's risking his life yet again, putting himself in peril for other people.
Hmm.
Is that just who he is at the core of his heart, that he's willing to be a doctor first and a human being second?
That's a good way to put it. I think it, yes, but I think there also has to, there's a great deal of survivor's guilt, in terms of, he was the one who made it out where so many people didn't. He wasn't able to save his family. He wasn't able to save many of his friends. So I think this desperation is sort of a subconscious compensation of of not being able to save so many people, that he's willing to throw himself into these impossible situations so that maybe even he can overcome the impossible circumstance of having lost people in the past. So I think that's it's a wonderful distraction from that realization.
Okay, well, his relationship with Mags is super tested
Yep.
this season. Whether it's her ambition or their relationship is the priority. For Mags, though, it seems like he just, either way, he's okay with the results. I mean, is he not just an ambition person, or is he at this point just leading with his heart, or he's sort of where my life leads? Or maybe you just discussed it, like he is just willing to put his life into the hands of fate at this point
I
because he's
think
lived and others haven't.
I think he's so fearful of losing anything that for him to even outwardly claim that he wants something is a scary thing for him. Whether it's the job, whether it's Mags, whether it's stability, whether it's citizenship, whether it's going back to Syria, whether it's friendship, it's just to claim that you want something is to risk losing it immediately. So I think for him to be detached that way is a pure defense mechanism. I don't think, and I don't think at all. And we see this come up with, how he's frustrated with Amira or frustrated at work and stuff like that. This is not something that he's casual or that he's complacent with. This is something that he has no idea how to justify wanting so bad, and or process the potential loss of. So I think he's just keeping everything at an arm's length to appear as if he's okay. But I feel like anybody who's even remotely close to him, like Mags, like Amira, like June, sees that he's just falling apart constantly.
That's another year of outstanding attempts at medical jargon too. For,
Yep.
for you, and you are you going to miss those moments?
Uh, Yeah, to a degree, like there's a nice little ego boost that you get from sounding smart. You know what I mean? Like I don't this is this earlier, but like no like I don't get to throw around percutaneous cannulation in everyday conversation. You know what I mean? I don't get to say I need two large bore IVs, get me 2 liters of NSTAT, CBCs, chem coags, and cross match 4 unit blood cells. I don't get to do that in regular conversation, you know. So it's nice to be able to wear that as a feather in the cap of being just like, oh yeah, I'm fluent in whatever that is. I will say that there's an entire new category of Jeopardy that I'm way better at than I was before the start of the show, so that's good.
All right, we'll see what we can do about getting you on Celebrity Jeopardy next season. It
That,
falls in
that,
Ken Jennings' court.
I know. That is true. Transplant was a clue once.
Yes.
It was a clue once. So that was great. I was on set when we found out. It was awesome.
Every episode of this series has just been must-see TV because your heart never stops racing from start to finish, whether it's wonderfully powerful, poignant moments or startling, stark medical moments from this. Are there episodes that really hold a special place in your heart from your time, either even from past seasons or this season, if you can tease?
From past seasons, I will say that the at the end of season 3, when Bash goes to the refugee camp to help out again, I think that was a beautiful full circle moment and super important for not only our audiences but the reason behind telling the story, which was to offer a voice to uh, people who have gone through this process, people who, to refugees, people who have lost everything, who are starting over, who are trying their best. And for Bashir to be able to go back and help in a way that feels good to him, to be able to see his friends again, to be able to return to his family afterwards. It's just not a story that's told nearly enough. It's such a tragic thing that we're still seeing so much destruction in that part of the world, and for us to even have to hold space to have not one but two doctors who had gone through this process, who have found asylum, who came back and helped, who maintained their friendship, who showed their love for each other, and hold on to their love that they have for their country and their families. For them to find some level of peace and happiness in this world, we need that story also.
It's a pleasure that you've been a part of this, and it must mean so much to so many people who have reached out to you.
Mm.
Well, I'm sure you've taken 4 seasons of chairbacks with you, but are there any other Baz mementos you took with you?
I just took that one chair back, but I have um I took my father has Bash's entire wardrobe, like and especially in that last season because Bash made a little bit of money in that last season, so there's a lot of nice stuff that my dad wears a lot. But I also have Mags's key card. Yeah, I took Mags's ID badge, so I have that as well.
This is, as I said, such a special series. What has it meant to you to have been a part of a show so poignant and powerful?
It's just, we wrapped filming it in October 2023, and you kind of move on. Maybe it's in denial, but you're in the throes of it. You knew it was gonna, and so you're kind of processing it as you're filming it because we knew it was going to be the last one. And then it was such a surprise earlier this year. We were just like, hey, we're getting it, because seasons 2 and 3 went straight to Peacock, and available now, please binge. But when they said that we're going to get a TV run of season 4, it was like, oh right, I guess I'll be doing some press, and I guess I should watch it again. So to sit back and watch it now is just, you don't really. I never really took the time to watch it, like truly, because you're editing it, you're in it. You don't want to be so aware that you're in a TV show, so you can't watch it because otherwise, then you're making a TV show. Um, and or for whatever level, that suspension of disbelief. But now to just know it's a complete story and I'm watching in pure content, I'm just like, oh my god, these relationships are beautiful, this story is beautiful, and that voice and this character will exist. Like you know that's the experience of doing that, the connections made, the real love that I have found for so many people and myself, the amount of humility offered to from the perspective of people who have gone through abhorrent things, to so I've gotten to do some work with the UN and the UNHCR and stuff like that, and to continue doing that ultimately, like, I hope it's not too cliche to say, but that's the thing, that's the garment that I'll be taking on, as a rap gift for the rest of my life. Like that's true transplant memorabilia is the experience and how it affected me, and the desire to tell this story with such authenticity and the desperation to make sure that we do justice to the story of these people who have gone through so much, and Bashir who went through so much, and these characters who loved each other so much and lost so much. That the desire to tell a story that complete and that well has changed my approach on how I go to tell stories as well, and how I treat, how I treat people in my life, and how I wish to forge connections on and offset. So that's like I said it before, I'll say it again. The real rap gift is the friends you make along the way. You know what I mean? So it's a goodie.
These are memories totally ingrained in your heart for the rest of your life.
Yeah.